How's it going, everybody? I am back in Fallout 4 at Murkwater, and we're going to be building some more tree houses. So, just right next to the tree house that I previously built, we're going to build one in the other trees in this area. So, right next to it, I just used place anywhere to get another one of these floorboard pieces up there. And don't worry, these stairs are not there permanently. Those are just there to make it easier on me for now. And this is going to be like a multi-tiered thing. So what I end up doing, like I said, those stairs don't stay where they are. And I move them because I end up connecting these from the roof of the other building, so that works out. And then right there, I was trying to get it to snap so that they would be kind of more straight, but it isn't snapping. I really shouldn't have. I don't think I really needed to lift it up at all. The only reason I did was because there was kind of a branch sticking through a little bit, but it's not really that bad. Could have left it a little bit lower. But this one, since it's like multi-leveled, it's not going to be as big in this first room as the other treehouse that I built. So you guys will notice it'll be a little bit smaller on this side. Not really that much smaller. It's like one floor piece smaller is all. So, or one like row of floors, which isn't a big deal. But up here is where it gets different than over there. So this one has a second floor, and right here I'm just trying to figure out how I want to have this all laid out. And what I end up doing is I go into the barns. Well, I go into the barns and warehouse section, and I grab one of these floors from the warehouse tab that have the wooden beams, and then I kind of just like I sit it on the branch of the tree that goes over the first area. So this is just going to end up being a little guard post, actually. So this house is kind of a house slash guard tower, guard post. It's got a pretty good view, which is really nice. I don't add any windows on this house bit because part of it I don't really close off, so you guys will see that once I start to add the walls and stuff like that. But I start throwing down some railings so that I don't fall off of this 100 times, because I think I already got rid of the stairs on the side. But as you can see, it's not anything like ridiculous. I'm just trying to get things to kind of look like they blend together. And yeah, you can see that I grabbed a corrugated steel railing. And I was worried about that branch sticking through, but then I just decided it doesn't really look that bad. It doesn't really bother me that much. And then I was going to add that barred one, but I just decided to get one, a railing that was filled in, because this is supposed to be kind of a guard post-ish type of thing. And you can see right here, they are almost like lined up, which is kind of cool. So what I end up doing is just placing down a shack bridge from the roof of this treehouse over to the first floor of the other treehouse, and they're kind of lined up, so it works out because I just place in these steps which from the bottom these steps look sorta weird, but it's not awful or anything like that. And yeah, so next I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do this, so I just placed down a couple uh, shack walls and stuff, snapped on what I could, half walls to fill in this section, get rid of that wall, and I end up just putting down I think I get a corrugated steel wall. Thought about adding a window, that's why I was looking at that. But I should get a corrugated steel wall from the retextures section. It looks like the same texture as the warehouse tab, but it's the size of like a regular wood wall. They have a bunch of different textures, which is kind of cool. I sit here and mess around with a couple of these, but I think that these kind of look too fancy. They look a little too nice. So I go ahead and I find another one of these outer caps, and I just get one of the ones with corrugated steel. And then I get some railings. I grab, I think, a orange colored version of the one. Oh no, I just grab the metal and then the green metal one. And next is for roofs. So one of the biggest problems with this roof is the fact that it's 3 like quarter pieces long. It's like 1.5 wooden floors. It's way easier to describe it that way. So what I end up having to do, I was trying to figure out how I was going to actually fill in that small gap on the side, and I at first was like, oh, I could like get rid of that railing and move that back, but what I end up doing is I just glitch it into the other roof and it doesn't look bad. Like I lined it up pretty good just right off the bat. It doesn't really clip through the top at all, so there's nothing like messed up. And then right here I'm just trying to figure out some details that I may want to do. I wanted to add railings, but it wasn't working. And then I wish that I could get a different staircase, one that did have railings right there, coming up onto this guard post, but the warehouse tab was too tall. I tried that afterwards, I think. But right here, I wanted to fill in this gap. So with CVA, they've got these quarter roofs, which are really useful. And I just grabbed these, and I lost my place anywhere tool downstairs. And then it let me pick up these right off the bat, which was kind of nice. And I just placed it where it was touching that right side and the left side. Then was like a good distance. So it actually fit kind of perfectly. I moved it a little bit to the right so that it doesn't quite look like a huge gap here on the right side. And then I grab the other one and I do the same thing. This time I think I did it from the bottom instead of the top. So I just go ahead and I make sure that there's not a huge gap on this right side. And I left a little bit of a bigger gap on the right side because that way I don't have to worry about the left side not touching. And this is mainly the structure. The next thing is like kind of just some details, really. Like I said before, I wanted, or like I did before, I added the wooden beams on the bottom, the wooden supports or whatever. And then also around where the tree is, I add a lot of wooden planks to make it look like the gap is kind of filled in. So, yeah, nothing too difficult or too crazy. Just place anywhere is trying to pick up all the wrong things though. But right here I just glitch them where it's underneath the lowest point in the structure, and then same thing, I move back a little bit. I kind of wish that I had gotten a bigger piece. I may... No, I didn't switch those. Kind of wish that I had switched those, but this one ends up fitting. I just back up until it's not underneath the graded floor or whatever. And then up here I do the same thing, but since it's on one side, I don't really have to worry about placing down a bunch. You also can't get underneath there or anything like that. It wouldn't be like a danger, really though. So I place it on that back side and then also on that right side by the stairs to just kind of fill in that gap. I think that just makes it kind of look a little bit better at least. Um, Otherwise, you have just a huge hole in the floor, and I don't think it would make sense that it's holding it up so well if a huge hole was around the point where the tree goes through. So what I do here is I place down a bunch of supports, as you can see, and I just start picking them up and placing them under the house, under the tree house on the tree pretty much. And then I stopped doing what I did right there where I placed it on top. I think that the next time I do it, I pick it up a little bit, move the, okay, so right there you see that I didn't actually pick it up. And with these trees, since there's a branch kind of like sticking out to the side, which is cool, I just end up doing just the few supports that I need, including the branch. So I just leave the branch as if it's a support on its own. And you can see right there, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I could do it at an angle, but then I just decide that it'd probably be best just to leave it with just the branch, because I think that kind of makes it look like it's built into the environment. And they started on that branch, and then as they like branched out, they just added more supports off of the tree on their own. But you can see right here it's pretty well supported. Up on that top part, on that side where the graded floor is, I don't think that I added a support. And mainly the reason I did that, though, was because I didn't think that the graded floor, well, my justification afterwards, because I had left it, or maybe I didn't. I don't know. I thought that I did. Oh, I tried to see if I needed this, and I ended up placing it down where it's kind of angled, so there's an extra support. But I didn't place it on the one side of the main house of this treehouse, mainly because I thought that the graded floor would be like a little less heavy and wouldn't need as much support, especially since the other half of this build is on that other tree, so there's a lot more support on that side anyway. And then up here on this part, I'm just trying to find some interesting walls or railings to put up here. That's the only one that'll work on that side, and so then I just went ahead and I got another balcony railing to put up on the very top. But yeah, this is almost the whole build. Oh yeah, like I said, I tried out these stairs, but those stairs are so much taller than the other stairs. I probably could have glitched one of the half stairs into the other and made it fit a little bit, but it probably would have looked a little bit weird, a little noticeable that it was kind of all glitched up. But here's the full tour here in a second. Not a bunch of decoration. After I got CVA out and I went to like the miscellaneous decorations, and they've got these cool nettings, and I thought that those were pretty cool. And then I also added some of those hanging lanterns around, or not lanterns, but the lamps. And you can see I got it kind of hanging from tree to tree on the bottom of that one, and then all the way across the top of those huge trees over there. on the right. But I think that the structure is pretty interesting. Kind of makes sense too, since the trees are both there and they've got these huge branches off of them. But you can see I ended up adding a post afterwards. That's one of those posts from that warehouse that's kind of broken down right here. This building. I stole one of the posts that were on the ground and I put it up there. So I used something from the settlement itself in this build. And yeah, when we go up here, you can see it's pretty minimal decoration. One up on that top bit at least. Down here, there's not a whole lot, but I think that it fits. Just a lot of junk on the backside where the graded floor is. A little table with some. This person's kind of a tinkerer, I think, in my mind. They've got like a distress beacon that they're working on, some parts and stuff, and then their bed and bunch of junk they've kept up here. A bunch of supplies they've got on this top part, a little chair, and then, like I said, a pretty good view. Even if I add like a junk wall, this part I kind of want to be like above the junk wall around the settlement. I want this part to be visible or be able to see out, not necessarily be in danger while up here, but be able to see out and have a good vantage over the whole swampy area around Murkwater. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more tree houses. I just kind of want to do some other things. And then we'll see if they will fit. I don't want to go like nuts though. I don't want it to be like just this massive like treehouse city. So, because I want it to be kind of a small fishing town. But let me know what you guys think of this build. Let me know if there's any other builds that you guys would like to see me do here. I do plan on doing something to the house that's all torn down, and then also the warehouse where the workshop is. But you guys will see that here soon. But if you guys are new, make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of this build, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.